In the night, when everyone in the area was sleeping, even then, screams could be heard coming from a house far away. In this house lived Adeline, her husband Robert, and their daughter Lily. Adeline's husband was a drunkard. He often came home drunk at night and started fighting with Adeline. Robert was so addicted to alcohol that he couldn't live a day without it. Moreover, Robert's income was very low, which meant he couldn't even provide enough money to run the household properly. Adeline was tired of this daily fight. She now wanted to get rid of all this. On top of that, it was also having a negative effect on her daughter. So, Adeline decided that she would no longer live with Robert. She decided that she and her daughter Lily would leave this house and go somewhere else. Within a few days, Adeline divorced Robert, and Lily's custody was granted to her mother. Adeline worked in an office. She used to save some money from her monthly salary and deposit it in the bank. With the money she had saved, and by taking a loan from the bank, Adeline decided to buy a house where she and her daughter Lily could live peacefully. To buy a house, Adeline contacted a broker. After that, the broker took Adeline to a place to show her a house. Adeline was looking at the house and its surroundings very closely. The house wasn't very big, but it was in good condition. Adeline was looking around. She noticed that there was no other house near this one, and the one opposite this house was also far away. Adeline started examining the house. It was clear that the house was very old and that no one had lived in it for a long time. Adeline asked the broker, "Whose house is this?" The broker said that he didn't know. This house had been lying vacant for many years. He had heard that a family of 3, a mother, father, and daughter, used to live in this house. But for some reason one day their daughter died, and in the same grief the parents also passed away one by one. And since then the house had been empty. After this, the broker asked Adeline, "Did you like this house? You are getting it at a very good price. You should take it." Actually, Adeline was looking for a house in a very quiet place. Adeline liked both the house and the location, so she decided to buy it. After this, Adeline sent her daughter to a hostel, even though she didn't want to. Because Adeline had to go to the office every day, she couldn't leave her daughter alone at home. So Adeline sent Lily to the hostel. Adeline had now moved into her new home. She felt happy inside because now she could live peacefully in her own house. Although Adeline liked a quiet place, she felt very lonely because her daughter wasn't with her. One morning, Adeline was talking to someone on the phone when she suddenly saw something in that old house. Adeline saw something in the window on the second floor of that old house. From a distance, it seemed as if someone was walking inside the room. Adeline couldn't see anything clearly from a distance. She thought it might have been a bird. Adeline usually returned home from the office between 8:30 and 9 p.m. After returning home, she would cook dinner for herself. At night, even the faintest sound could be clearly heard in that quiet place. A few days after moving into her new home, Adeline sometimes heard some noises from outside at night. Sometimes Adeline felt that the sounds were coming from that old house. One night, Adeline was quietly reminiscing about her past. She was thinking about her daughter. Then suddenly she heard the sound of glass breaking from outside. Adeline was shocked. She went to the window to see where the sound of breaking glass came from. But there was nothing outside. Then Adeline thought that it might have been the sound of glass breaking from the window of that old house. But how could the glass break? Adeline was very scared because she was alone in the house, and there was no one around whom she could call if she had any problems. The next morning, Adeline went to that old house to see if the window glass was really broken or not. She stood in front of the house and carefully examined the windows, but no window was broken. Then she went to the back of the house, and when she went to the back, she saw that the glass of the window was indeed broken. Adeline was very surprised to see the broken glass. What she thought was correct, but how did the window glass break? Because she hadn't seen anyone around at night. And why would anyone do this? After this, Adeline started peeping inside the house through the broken part of the window. She saw a dark room and a closed door. The room was surrounded by dust and spider webs. Suddenly, a cold wind blew on Adeline's face from inside the house, even though there was no wind outside. After this, Adeline walked away from there. That night, Adeline ate her dinner and went to sleep, because she had to get up early the next morning to go to the office. Due to a noise, Adeline's sleep was broken. She woke up and sat up. She noticed that the curtain of the window was slightly crooked. Adeline got up to fix the curtain. Then she heard a voice. She looked out of the window. Adeline was scared. She started looking around the house to see who was standing in front of her. Adeline was terrified. Seeing that scary entity, Adeline ran out of the house. But suddenly, she stopped in the middle of the road. From her appearance, it was clear that she was possessed. A lot of time passed, but after that night, Adeline never left the house again. Adeline's office and Lily's hostel called her many times, but the phone was switched off. Even after 3 months, when Lily's mother did not come to meet her and didn't even call, Lily started crying a lot. She got sick. Then one day, a hostel staff member took Lily home. All the doors of the house were open. Lily and that staff member entered the house. There was a very bad smell coming from inside the house. Lily saw that her mother was sitting on a chair. "Mom? Mom?" Adeline was no longer alive. She looked terrified. Later, it was found that she had died from not eating anything for many days. Now, no one lives in that house. What happened that night remains shrouded in mystery, but it was undeniably terrifying. When Adeline approached the window to see what was outside, she saw a strange, horrifying figure standing near her house. The sight of this entity filled her with overwhelming fear, causing her to run out of the house. But as soon as she reached the road, she suddenly stopped. Her expression changed, and it seemed as though she was under the control of some otherworldly force. After that night, Adeline never left the house again. It is believed that when she saw that terrifying figure, she became possessed by some malevolent forces tied to the old house, forces perhaps connected to the tragic family that once lived there and met a sorrowful end. Adeline didn't speak to anyone, nor did she eat anything after that night. Gradually, she deteriorated, both physically and mentally, until she eventually died. It seems that something truly horrifying happened that night, something that took hold of Adeline's soul and led her to her death. The full truth of that night is known only to the haunted house and Adeline herself. Now the house is empty once more, and the dreadful secret it holds lingers in its silence. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and like the video. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with another story soon. Until then, bye.